I do think this period is very difficult, and I know that there's a lot of emotions that are running high on all sides, but it also provides an opportunity for us to learn about one another, and that understanding can open up pathways for positive future action. I'm John Borrows. I'm the Canada Research Chair in Indigenous Law at the University of Victoria, and I'm from the Chippewa-the-Nawash First Nation in Ontario, which is on the shores of Georgian Bay, and my great-great-grandpa signed a treaty dealing with 1.5 million acres of land in that territory. For the first time, you have federal and provincial ministers dealing with hereditary governments, which are the proper rights and title holders in Canadian law and in Wet'suwet'en law for dealing with questions of land and decision-making in relationship to land.
We've come up with an arrangement that we seen as probable help and assistance to all parties so that we can see the future as a better outlook for our occupation out on the land.
One of the positive implications of this precedent, of this agreement, is that you're dealing with overarching body, and that creates economies of scale. There's over 630 some odd bands in the country, but there's only 11 different language groups. And so if you start to deal with the broader bodies, it's going to be easier for governments and corporations to understand who it is that they should be talking to. And if there is an agreement, to be satisfied that that agreement is with the proper parties. The question of the Indian Act and how it will relate to the hereditary or traditional structure is one for the parties on the ground. The Indian Act was designed to try to assimilate Indians. There's very narrow authorities that they exercise. They also exercise those authorities as elected bands over small reserves, which are a fraction of the entire territory. And so the question for the people is, do they abandon that Indian Act structure and absorb everyone back into the traditional structures, or do they find a role for a revitalized or reinvigorated elected process that would relate to the hereditary system as well?